Now, Microsoft gives us some tools to help solve any type of startup problems that we might see occur. And those are listed here. The Advanced Boot Options menu, the Windows Recovery Environment, you might see this listed as Windows RE, as well as a command prompt window within that Windows Recovery Environment. Here is a look at what that Advanced Boot Options window looks like. And you've probably seen this before. And this Advanced Boot Options menu appears when a user usually presses the F8 as Windows is loading. Now you need to be familiar with each option on this menu and know how to use it in the workforce. Now sometimes you will see the option for repair your computer here. This option is only going to be available in Windows 7 and beyond. And that will launch the Windows Recovery Environment, or Windows RE, and that provides a variety of tools that solve Windows startup problems. And we'll look at this later on. You'll see that we have Safe Mode available here as one of the options, and that boots the operating system with a minimum configuration that can be used to solve problems with a new hardware installation. Perhaps you have a corrupted Windows installation, or problems caused by user settings. A lot of times when you are working with troubleshooting issues with viruses, you definitely want to load into safe mode so that you can find out where the location is of those viruses and remove them, or run your antivirus here by not using networking, not allowing it to go to the internet, or have access to your internal network. You're not worried about the virus spreading onto other devices. Now when you're in safe mode, this boots with the ability to use your mouse, basic video for your monitor, allows you to use your keyboard, as well as your mass storage drivers are loaded so that you can look at your drives. Now I talked about the basic video. This is going to use plain VGA video driver. This is in your system called VGA.sys. This does not load your normal video drivers for your video card. This just allows you to have a basic resolution of about 800 by 600, and you'll notice that there's not a background desktop, or a desktop background. It's just going to be black. So if you've got some picture saved that you use as your default background, you're not going to see that, because Windows Safe Mode is going to load in the barest essentials for running your operating system. And also, while you're in safe mode, you can use some of those critical system tools we've talked about before. You can use Device Manager here to uninstall or disable a device with problems, or to roll back a driver, which you've done before. You can use Check Disk here to fix any type of hard drive problems if you're using a spinning disk. You can, if you have filled up your hard drive for some reason, you can go into safe mode and free up some space since you have access to your drives. If you suspect some type of software program might be the issue for your problems, you can use your Program and Features area to properly uninstall that software. You can also use the Event Viewer here, or maybe there's some other error reporting logs here that you want to use to find any type of information that's saved during your previous startup that can help you identify the source of the problem by looking through those log messages. And of course, you can use your system configuration tool to disable any unneeded services or startup processes here. Now, if you don't know which one is causing the problem, disable all non-Microsoft services and processes. And if the problem goes away, enable one at a time until you discover that one is causing the problem. So as always, you can use these tabs in your system config. And as a reminder, if you're going to bring this up as a little memory jogger here, that is, use the command msconfig to run your system configuration tool. If you hide all of your Microsoft services, you'll see what's left, and then you can go through and make sure which ones that maybe there's something that seems odd, or maybe you need to just start going through and disabling and re-enabling one at a time. It's going to be a long process. Hopefully that you are able to maybe see something that just looks odd and be able to remove that, and all problems are healed. Now, if you are using safe mode, when you load Windows into safe mode, all files that are used for the load are recorded in the following location: c:\windows /ntblog.txt file. So you can use this file to identify a service, a device driver, or an application loaded at startup that can be possibly causing your problem. Now it's up to you as to which tool your preference is. I am a big proponent of going into safe mode first, just because I don't want to expose my network. But you also have safe mode with networking available to you. Use this when solving a problem with your booting process and you need network access, such as when your Windows installation files are available on the network. You have safe mode with command prompt as well here. When you're using this, use your system file checker command to verify your system files. If you don't remember that, that's sfc/scan now. You can use the check disk/r command to check for any type of file system errors. Now, if your problems are not solved, now it's time to launch your system restore. Now, this last known good configuration option here, this is saved in the registry after each successful login. So that's where Windows knows to go and look for the last time Windows was able to load without any problems. Now this can undo a bad installation and solve a problem. Try the last known good early in the troubleshooting before it's overwritten with another instance of a load configuration. And remember that when logging onto the system in safe mode, the last known good configuration is not going to be saved. If you look at debugging mode here, this can allow you to move system boot logs from a failing computer to another computer for you to be able to evaluate and do your troubleshooting. Disable a automatic restart on a system failure. This is for stop booting upon encountering a system failure. By default, Windows automatically restarts immediately after a blue screen stop error. The error can cause the system to continually reboot rather than shut down. So to stop that rebooting, choose this option so that you can use the system properties box to make this setting permanent so you can do your troubleshooting and repair. Now, if you don't feel any of these options are best, then obviously you can choose Start Windows normally, and that will allow you to see what happens as you were starting Windows and maybe need to take some notes, or you're recording a video to see what happens during the boot process. Maybe you're using this as a training tool, so you just want to show people what's happening. Maybe you need to take some pictures to send to a vendor so that they can do some debugging in their software. Where the case may be, you have that option available to you. But that's a quick rundown of the advanced boot options.